वेलकम टू सारिका स्टडी एकेडमी। तो आज क्लास 8 का इंग्लिश का यूनिट 5 सेमेस्टर 2 से एक्टिविटी 5 हम पार्ट 5 से देखेंगे, पेज नंबर 70। लुक एट द 3 इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ द रोड not taken. They each have a different idea about what the poem means and they each give evidence for their idea. Interpretation first gives an evidence from the poem itself. The writer of interpretation 1 gives detail from the poem to explain his idea. When writer looks carefully at the details of something in order to understand the whole, we call this analyze. Interpretation 1 uses analysis of the poem as evidence for the interpretation. Interpretation 2 and 3 both use analysis of the poem, but they also use other sources for evidence. What are the other sources they use? The answer is beyond analysis, the interpreters use the following sources of evidence. First point, interpretation 1 is adapted from a 9th standard CBSE textbook. Here the interpreter must have taken help of other sources for the analysis. Second, interpretation 2 is adapted from Wikipedia. The interpreter quotes a literary critic named Eleanor Sickle to justify his interpretation. Third, interpretation 3 is edited text from George Monitor books. The root source is some judging by forced biographer forced friendship with Edward Thomas and their countryside walks. The poem is written in a very light mood and is nothing but a gentle jest in the teasing mood. Page number 71. Write a paragraph giving your own interpretation of Robert Frost's The Road Not Taken. Reference the poem in your paragraph. For evidence of your idea, use lines from the poem and use information from at least one of the interpretation 1, 2 or 3. The answer is The Road Not Taken is a poem of dilemma that every man faces quite often in the due course of his life. Life is full of choices and man has to choose only one each time. When he chooses the one, he chooses the best among all, but at the same time he also has a sense of regret for not choosing another. While doing this choice, he does things whether he has to choose the one that other also have chosen it or the one that hardly anybody else has chosen. When he drop one or many, he surely thinks that one day in future he would definitely go for it, and after a very long time he feel that the choices that he had done in past has made all the differences. This all shows man's indecisiveness over a issue of life. Activity 6. Filling the details in the following columns based on the interpretation of one of your classmate. The answer is writer's name, classmate. Does the writer reference the poem? What is the writer's main idea? What evidence does the writer give for the main idea? What is the source of the evidence? And last, how is the writer's interpretation different from mine? In first answer, Ronak Shah. Second column, yes. Third column, the poem is about the indecisiveness of the man. He picks up one choice, but at the same time he regrets for one choosing another. He always thinks that someday in future he will grab the one that was left, but of course doubtfully. Fourth column, lines from the poem, and second point, analysis. Fifth column, interpretations or analysis done by other on Wikipedia and the other sites. Last column, I think that the option I had chosen in past has not made a great differences. I still feel that the other one that I had not chosen might have made a great differences. This is human psychology, that man is never happy with what he get. He always craves for a repent or regret for what he has not got. Thus my interpretation is different from that of the writer. एक्टिविटी 7 हम नेक्स्ट पार्ट में देखेंगे, तब तक के लिए टेक केयर, बाय।